Hello again. I know I've been posting recently, but not to worry, I'm back now, and I'm gonna be showing you the puppets I made for my monthly puppet challenge. Let's dive in. Alright, Puppet 10, I chose for it to be an advanced humanoid design, having arms, a head, a torso, and all that. And I want to make it to some whatever this critter is. Now, the original idea for the head was much more complicated with all these contraptions, but I wanted to keep it simple, so I redesigned the mouth mechanism based on a gardening tool. As for the arms, they are going to be mostly comprised of two different joints, and we moved with a stick. Same thing with the legs, and these joints are a ball joint and a something called an axle joint. Now, the ball joint is inspired by this little acorn I found on a walk. A sphere with a larger sphere wrapped around it. Here's a look at the head, and its mouth works perfectly. Here is a look at the upper torso, and arms are attached to it. Now all I have to do is slide my fingers here, and I can move the arms with a stick right here. Up next was adding a waist and some legs. Legs work similarly to the arms. I can move the legs with this stick attached to a ring. Connecting the upper body and torso is a ball joint. Originally, I planned to use a 3D pen to print out the hands and feet, but I eventually settled on making them out of cardboard. And it's still really functional and works pretty well. Alright, now I'm going to do something differently and cover it all in felt instead of paper. And here's the finished product. Tins, my 10th puppet and the humanoid advanced design. It can move its body, its arms, and it can talk. Look at him walk. I even made him a functioning hood.
I don't want the next puppet to be band theme. Because music. I haven't tried that before, so let's try music. Over here, so we want to incorporate 4 instruments. We got drum. So we're gonna have a drum belly. With these arms being as the sticks. And then I want to incorporate a bell. So maybe add maybe a wire or maybe some cardboard. I'm not sure yet. And then just stick a bell in there. Maraca. So, anywho, I decided to make the maraca filled with rice, beans, small rocks, whatever, and then cover it all with fur. Really gonna do the same thing I did with tins and just cover the whole thing with cloth. And adding these, and then up here we got legs. Yeah, they're just gonna be like, so it's kind of like tap dancing. And then add those together, you get this.
And here's a nifty little design with color. Nice. And here is the body. I just slide in my fingers, and boom, now I can walk.
Thump, 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 thump.
I added a bell and something to control the arms. I added more depth to the feet. Then I added some ears and an orange belly. Alright, now time to paint and cover this thing with felt. And now, a little symphony by Orquesta, the 11th puppet. And the last puppet of this challenge is Cesylia, a walking flower puppet that's going to be probably a foot tall. Here is the seedling. It is just going to be a ball attached to a rod. And I'm probably going to have the rod snap on. This mechanism is a bit too complicated, so I'm going to have to change it. As for the legs, I'm going to use a stick with some sort of flexible yet durable material, like cardboard paper. And I'm going to use this dowel to move it up and down. I'm also going to make the pedals loose so they can bounce up and down, and also have a section to put this little seedling in the head. And maybe this little root thing, though I'm probably not going to add it. Here is the seed, and here is the motherly flower's head. There's a section for me to hold on to the back, as well as some loose petals. I use string to make the illusion of them bouncing up and down, and this makes a good little section to put in the seedling. And just through friction, it has just enough to stay on. Here are the rods for the legs that I made with a dowel, and all I gotta do is put them on my index and pinky, and boom, now we're getting somewhere. Now we just gotta find a material that's durable yet flexible enough. Well, in the meantime, I made this rod. I made a pickaxe-shaped end, and then all I have to do is turn it, and boom, now it can bounce anywhere. Oh, I also use cardboard paper for the legs, and now look at it. It's flexible, and it's also durable. Now, all we gotta do is probably cover it in paper and paint it. And here's the little seedling. I don't exactly have a name for it, so maybe you can help me name for it. I will happily take suggestions from the comments. Oh, and it bounced off. And here is Cesylia in all her morning glory. That was a planned pun. Look at her go! And the little seedling can hide comfortably inside the mother's head, or petals. And with that, my monthly puppet challenge has been complete. I want to thank those who listened and viewed the videos I made with these puppets. And I plan to make more videos with this, hopefully with a decent upload schedule. So yeah, until the next time, I'll see you around. As always, I'm Felix Scribble, that's not my real name, and I'll just see you next time. Stay tuned.